All right, and our final presenter tonight is Danny Parker. Danny created the I Love This Town television show. It's a 30-minute fun, quirky television show which he shares about our community with others as well. Will you please welcome to the stage Danny Parker?
Hello, I am Danny Parker, and I'm one of those strange people who I am more comfortable in front of an audience than I am being part of an audience. So I am really, really happy to be here and not sitting out there with you. There's a story that comedian Jerry Seinfeld used to tell that sort of sums it up, and it was a story about a university that did a study to see what people feared the most. And number 2 on the list of what people would fear the most is the fear of dying. Number 1 was the fear of public speaking. So he went on to say, so basically, if you're at a funeral, you'd rather be the person in the coffin than the one giving the eulogy. So I'm just here to give you a little bit of piece of my story. If you want the long version, you just have to come to another event. I have had a really fantastic career in the creative and marketing, creative side of marketing and advertising, and got a chance to meet a lot of very creative people and work with some really talented folks and all that sort of stuff. And one of those is my longtime friend Josh. He and I were sitting at a restaurant downtown Fort Wayne, looking at the skyline and drinking and talking about how awesome Fort Wayne is, and about how many cool things that there are to do in Fort Wayne. And we just thought, man, why isn't there a TV show? Why isn't somebody, making a show about Fort Wayne, because it's so cool. And I've lived here long enough to remember when it really wasn't so cool. And so, we drank some more, we talked some more, thought this is a really awesome idea. Well, the next morning when I woke up, I still thought it was a good idea. So I went to a friend of mine, Tom and Tisdale, from Wayne TV, Channel 15. He is the station manager there. And I said, man, I got this idea for this TV show that's just all about Fort Wayne, just all the cool stuff that's going on in Fort Wayne. And he said, Danny, he goes, you know what? He goes, if you make a show like that, he goes, I will put it on the air. And I said, cool. So I went to my oldest and dearest friends. He was a videographer and she was a video editor, and said, I got this idea for this really cool TV show. And they said to me, Danny, if you want to make a show like that, we will help you make this show. So the concept of the show essentially was just going out and doing fun stuff in Fort Wayne. So not necessarily speaking to the camera, not explaining what was going on, but just having a guest come with me and we just go do stuff. And so I like cars and I like eating at restaurants and just doing things. And you have to admit, the idea is just, it's endless, the potential. All the things that you could do in Fort Wayne. We decided that we were going to make this show, and I thought the best name for it would be I Love This Town with Danny Parker. I really, really love that name because I love this town and because it has my name in it. And so we set off to make this show, and it was very challenging. There were quite a few challenges for me personally that I was going through at that time that made it particularly difficult, but I'm glad that I had the joy and the happiness that this show provided, producing this show provided, to get me through those tough times. Who here would like to see a clip of a little bit of a... Okay, who wouldn't want to see this? Would like to just... Just hang on. You'll be fine, you'll be fine. So at this point, I don't know how to make it play. Does someone know how to make it play? Alyssa, we're off for our adventure. What would you like to do?
Anything on the rivers is always fun, or by the rivers, or something with rivers, because that's what's cool about downtown Fort Wayne.
That is cool. Yeah, we're not going to do that.
you ever look in the mirror and just think, who am I? Has anybody ever called you Don? That's happened to me once or twice. Do you have any kids? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite sport? Do you have a favorite sport? Do you like sports? Do you like baseball?
The way you want to nose a spirit is to leave your mouth open and inhale equally between your nose and your mouth.
I'm supposed to inhale while I'm swallowing. Isn't that like a choking
No, 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 no. While you're smelling it, you inhale.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am very excited, Mayor, that we're meeting the first time and that you have agreed to be part of the I Love This Town quiz. Are you His Honor, the Mayor of Fort Wayne? Is
Oh,
that
you can just call me Tom. Name the 3 rivers of Fort Wayne.
the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria?
Close.
Hey, Johnny, do you want to have a catch? Alyssa, do you know what we need now?
Montage.
I looked up the deck on their website.
Yeah.
And this really reminds me of that. Do you do any funny voices?
Have you seen Monsters, Inc.? Mike Wazowski,
Oh.
you forgot your report. I want the big spring salad and put that chicken in it. Right?
This looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have a list of questions.
Cool.
What's your favorite kind of monkey? No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, well, is a cappuccino a type of monkey?
Just let her go.
All right.
I like your hat. Is your hat expensive? I bet it's expensive. Are you ever self-conscious about the size of your head? Your head's really big. Can you just think of like a lot of stuff, like a lot in there? Do you have a girlfriend? Does she have a big head? I have a girlfriend. She has a regular sized head. Do you want me to stop talking about your head? Your head's really big.
I cannot tell you how much fun it was making that show. And we had 2 half-hour episodes that ran on the local CBS affiliate. But the most important takeaway from that really is how big that guy's head is. I mean, it is ginormous. I think the real takeaway from this is, and for me, is that if you're going through life and you're passionate about what you're doing and it brings you joy and happiness, that when you come to a hurdle, you need to jump over that hurdle. You need to, if you can't jump, you need to walk around that hurdle. If a hurdle comes up in front of you and you can't walk around it, you can crawl under that hurdle. But you can do it, just don't give up. Thank you. Oh, and I'm going to hang out here to the end. I want every single one of you to finish off